Hello and welcome to the channel, and today we're going to be looking at Helldivers 2, made by Arrowhead Game Studios and published by PlayStation. This was a day one launch on both PC and PS5, which is the first time PlayStation have ever done that, so that's an interesting strategy they're going with the live service business model of the games they're making. And yeah, so I jumped in day one and absolutely been having an absolute blast with Helldivers 2. I never played Helldivers 1, which is one of the games that Arrowhead Games made in the past. They made Magicka, Gauntlet, the Gauntlet reboot, I should say, and Helldivers 1. Helldivers 1 was a top-down game, very similar to this, sort of a co-op mission-focused community galactic conquest sort of game. And this is very, very similar, I've been told, but in third person and adds to the sort of immersion of the game and that kind of thing. And this is my destroyer, the Prophet of Patriotism, which is a name I actually got to pick as well. When you first make your character, you get to pick the name of your ship through a giant list of different prefixes and suffixes. So yeah, that was really, really cool. And now I get to go around in the Prophet of Patriotism. So Helldivers. What is Helldivers? Helldivers is up to a 4-player co-op mission-based third-person shooter where you go and you do missions and you slowly, as a community of gamers, take over the galaxy for Super Earth. And that's how Helldivers are. And is it any good? Yes, it's bloody awesome. It's absolutely fantastic. I'm having so much fun with this game. We've put in nearly 20 hours in just under 2 days, and I work a full-time job as well. So it's been absolutely fantastic and a blast, and I've been really, really enjoying it. Graphically, it's quite good. This is on sort of medium to low settings, and you can see it at 1440p, and you can see it looks pretty good. I've got the ultra textures on as well, and that's good. We'll take a look at the settings menu a little bit later. And before we get into a mission, I really wanted to have a look and show you the systems that are in this game, because the game does things a little bit differently. So as you progress through the games, you progress through difficulties, you progress through missions. You also progress through upgrading your ship. I've got a few upgrades here. I've got like an engineering bay over here with this person, and I've got what's called an Eagle over there, which is one of the fighter bombers that helps me out with in game, which is one of the stratagems or care packages, some of you might know them as, but in this game they're called stratagems. And yeah, and this is sort of the things you can do to your ship as you go through and upgrade it. Over here we have the armory, which I'll have a look into in a minute, and over here we have the ship management, and then up the front we have the map, the Galactic War map, and then you have your launch pods. Here is how you launch into a mission with all the other ships out here. And when you have people in your party, their ships are actually in front of you as well. So that's actually really, really cool. But we have a sneaking suspicion, and I have no factual evidence for this, but we have a sneaking suspicion that dependent on the number of people who are playing the game and are actually on the same planet as you, the number of ships around you increases, which is really, really cool. We have a sneaking suspicion that is a thing. But yeah, straight away on to the progression of the game. So as you do missions, you get different types of currencies and resources, but what do you spend those currencies and resources on? So up here we have what are essentially credits. Then we have super credits. The normal credits begin with R. I can't remember exactly what they're called. Then we have medals, and then we have a series of resources or samples, anything from common or rare, and then I think these are ultra rare or something. I can't actually remember. As you can see, I haven't got any of those yet. So this is your ship. This is the Prophet of Patriotism. We can change our name here. We can do the Prince of Patriotism, but I like the Prophet, so we're going to apply that name. Number of ship upgrades I have, and where I am right now, what faction it's being controlled by. This is the planet, the faction, and what sort of biome or type of planet it is. And then there's a picture of my ship. That's the first one. So the second one is stratagems. So these are the care packages that you can cool down in game. Anything from heavy weapons like this machine gun or an anti-material rifle for some sniping. As you can see here, there is a every single gun can be shot in ADS or first person mode, but the game is played in third person. There's an anti-tank weapon here, there's a recoilless rifle, and this brings me on to something where some of the weapons have a really unique mechanic here, which I love, which is you get increased benefits if your friends help you with stuff. So if I have a backpack from the recoilless rifle, which you can pick up individually, and my friend has the recoilless rifle, I can sort of attach myself to him as he's using the weapon, and I can reload for him or her. And it increases the reload exponentially. We're talking like a 5-second-ish reload where you have to crouch down and manually reload it. It takes a long time and puts you in a very, very vulnerable spot. To where you can see in the video how it's almost instant. And it's fantastic for adding a piece of teamwork to it. The autocannon also has the same feature, though when you are using this gun yourself, its reload is not that bad anyway. A friend of mine has this, and he's been playing with it, and we've been using it last night. So you can see there's recoilless rifles, flamethrowers, rail guns, basically what is essentially a javelin. You can see there, again, the duo reloading of the javelin there, and then the machine gun as well. But that's not it. That's not it. If you scroll down, you now get orbital cannons, which is your actual ship firing down. And if you look up into the sky, you can see your ship above you firing down glorious hellfire, which is absolutely, it's so cool. It's so cool to see. Airburst here, we have a 120mm HE barrage, a 380 HE barrage. You can see just the size of it is massive. And there's loads of stuff, lasers and all sorts of stuff. And then we have our hangars. These are my babies here. I love these, which are the Eagles. So you can get them from strafing runs to air strikes. Napalm, that's always fun. That's got us out of a few clutches. A 500-kilogram bomb. You can see that in the Balta in the background, get absolutely slapped by it. We have bridge here, which you have orbital precision strikes. We have orbital EMS strikes, which stuns enemies. We have some, you can call in some turrets for you guys to use. Tesla towers. There's a lot of upgrades in this game, and they are they're not too expensive. You can get these credits as you go through the missions and increase your mission difficulty. You can get 3,000 credits per mission very easily. So here we got here laser cannon. Don't buy the laser cannon. Don't buy the laser cannon. It's not worth it. Don't buy the laser cannon. Supply packs for giving your allies ammunition. Very, very useful because ammunition is very limited. And we'll get on to more about the ammunition economy as we look into an actual mission itself. Here we've got the Dog Rover. This is really good fun. Now, one of the things to say with all these is friendly fire is on. You can't turn it off. So if this guard dog does a 360 spin and hits an ally of yours, they're going to take damage. If you drop this cluster bomb near an ally, they will die. You will murder your allies. And respawns are limited to a degree where you have 5 per person and they're shared. So if one party member dies 5 times, everyone loses out on those relives, not just them. But then they can eat into the revives you bring in, if that makes sense. I was using this Rocket Sentinel last night. It was great fun. And again, yeah, these Gatling guns, if you're stood in the way of a Gatling gun, it will mow you down. It gives 0 Fs. So yeah, it's this is a fantastic game. With a great progression path. We also go on to ship modules, which is what you use the resources on. So stratagems are used with credits. You use credits to purchase them, and resources are used to upgrade your actual ship here. So you can see here, this Eagle was not here. So if I back out here, this Eagle here was not here earlier. And as I purchased this liquid ventilated cockpit. That Eagle appeared here as like a cosmetic upgrade, as well as an actual upgrade of Eagle stratagem cooldown time reduced by 50%. So that's really, really nice. Here we got like a nuclear radar here, which is really, really handy because the radar system in the game is quite unique. So it's quite nice to see how that works as well. Yeah, so, and these are the ship modules. So what else we have here? These cost, you can see here, 80 common, 60 rare, 5 ultra rare, or whatever it is. And these are the stratagems that it affects. And you can see that the Sentinels have 50% more health. Here, removes deployment time from emplacement stratagems. It's very, very useful. Stuff like mines take time to sort of deploy. So removing that deployment is actually a really big benefit here. Reduces deployment time for sentinel sentries. Again, really big benefit as well. So you can see there's quite a lot of different types. This is an interesting one. We're reducing the fall off of from the center of the explosion caused by an orbital stratagem. That's an interesting upgrade as it becomes more effective. You don't have to be so absolutely precise with it. And you see a cosmetic upgrade to the outside of the ship here as things get bigger and beefier. So I believe you can see that here. And then if you go out the front, when your friends or randoms teleport in, their ships warp in, I should say, not teleport, you'll probably be able to see their upgrades and stuff like that on the ships as well, which is super, super cool. So that's sort of all your stratagems and your ship modules. But what about weaponry? What about weapons and armor? You can see my guy here. I haven't gone for looks. I've more gone for how I like to play. Grenades, 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 grenades. I love grenades. So this is the armory. And if we go into here, you can see I've got a bunch of guns, but there's no shop. And this is one of the, I want to say controversial, in my mind anyway, things about this game. Is we have armor here. And armor has statistics and passives. All armor has statistics and passives. There's no cosmetic only armor. Helmets don't have passives and all have exactly the same statistics, so they pretty much don't have statistics. And these are cosmetic. Maybe we'll put this one on. And capes are exactly the same as helmets. So these two are basic cosmetics, but armor do have different things. Lights are better for stamina and speed and have different types of passives. Mediums are more broad and sort of evened out on the armor ratings. Stamina rating and have, again, different types of passives. See here, more grenades, love grenades. And then heavy, again, more on the armor, less on the speed and stamina. And then a passive to sort of boost it. For instance, this one here has increased throwing range by 30%. So if you're someone who loves raining down hellfire with sort of eagles and orbital strikes and stuff like that, this could be a big help for you not to murder all your friends. But yeah, I like grenades. Yeah, so that's the thing. And why is this controversial though? And so the issue is all the shops, all the shop for these weapons are based on what the game's essentially what a battle pass is for the game, right? And they're war bonds. They're all called war bonds. And at the launch of the game, you have a free one, but I do not know if they're going to continue with a free one. But at the moment, there's a free one and a premium one. And none of the guns have cosmetics, and none of the armor is cosmetic. So we'll get onto the premium stuff in a bit. So the free one, quite generous, I have to say. It gives you 750 free super credits. So you see here, there's 100 super credits, which is the paid currency. So here's the prices of the super credits here. So it's about, well, just over $1 worth of super credits it gave me here. It was very fast to get, very cheap, so it's very nice. And all in all, it's about, across the 10 pages, it's about 750 credits worth. As you go through the pages, it increases, things increase in value. See, this is like 100, this is 50, this is 75. But if we go to page 5, this is 20, 25, this is 12. And then on page 1, I believe this was like 10 super credits, if that. 10 medals. So this brings us to the last currency, which is medals. which is how you progress your war bond or your battle pass. So you have your page here. You start from page 1 and you can pick anything in here at all. It's not a linear progression. You don't even have to 100% it. If we go down to page 3 here, you see that I've only got 7 out of 8, but I've got page 4 and I've got page 5. To progress through the war bond, you have to spend medals. And when you've spent up to a certain amount, it will unlock the page. And then it will carry on going through. You see here how page 10 is basically nearly 1,000 medals here. Still, I have to go. And so you spend medals on the war bonds, and you get new pages unlocked. So I will be going for... I've got a new weapon here. I'll be going for the grenade soon. I'll be going for the armor soon, because I would like to have a look at its passive and stuff like that. So, why is this slightly controversial? Why does this make me feel iffy? They've been very generous. This free one is all the weapons are unique. You have an SMG here. You have an energy-based laser here. Don't buy it. It's terrible. You have a marksman rifle here and an SMG here, which goes in your pistol slot. And that's fine for a free battle pass. In the paid version of the battle pass, there are weapons that are only available under the paid battle pass or war bond, which is really dodgy because it's paid. And the way they balance this out is they say you can earn super credits via in-game. So this gives you 750, and the premium one costs 1,000. But when you're in a mission, if you go to a minor point of interest, you will be able... There's a chance you'll be able to find a decent amount of super credits. So if you grind the game out, and if you keep playing the game a lot, and you play the missions, you will be able to buy all the cosmetics in the store, which rotates, I think, weekly. I think it's every other day. You'll be able to buy all the cosmetics in the store. You will be able to buy all the premium warbands for free if you play a lot. But it is tied to currency. It is tied to financials. The other side of this is you can't pay to skip. So let's say this gun here, I have no idea by the way, but let's say the Dominator is insanely powerful. Let's say it's no good even denying it. It's amazing. I have no idea. I'm making this up. This is completely hypothetical. I'm not there yet. I have not got it. I still have a little ways to go to grind out because I've paid for the game. I'm not buying battle pass stuff when I can grind out in game. I have enough time on my hands where I can grind out in game. So let's say this gun is just undeniably incredible. Even if you bought the battle pass or the war bond, right? Even if you spent the 1,000 credits, which is $10, which isn't that bad. And this isn't a full price game either. I think it's like $30. I'll put it on screen right now. You wouldn't be able to buy this weapon. You would still have to grind out the 280 medals, 200 to unlock page 3 and 80 to buy the weapon to get the gun in the first place, which is quite a few medals. That's quite a lot. That's a good couple of days grinding, in my opinion, right? So, how's this balanced? Well, within you grinding out those medals, you are probably going to find a few super credits. When I say a few, I don't mean 1 or 2 or 3. I'm talking like 40 or 50. I have 580 on me right now. I have received some of these from the free warband. So there's 100 there, 100 there, 100 there, and 100 there. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've received 500 for free, and I've found 80. Which isn't too bad. So you can grind it out quite reasonably. If you're willing to put the time and effort in, you can. So it puts a bad taste in my mouth because it is weapons, it is power locked behind a paywall. It's not cosmetic, it is power. These passives on this armor set are behind a paywall. And we'll get onto this a little bit more in a minute as well, because this is slightly different. But this weapon is locked behind a paywall. But you can technically earn it for free if you put the time into it. And with the free warband, you do get a big hefty discount. You get 750. So you only have to grind out 250, and I've already done 80 of that. And I haven't been focusing on super credits. You don't receive more super credits the harder the mission. So you can technically load up a low difficulty mission and run through the level or the area and try and find all the minor points of interest and get all the super credits. So it is like, I see what they've done here, and I think it's a slippery slope. I think this is fair. I think what they've got is good. I'm happy with this, but I don't trust it. It's a slippery slope. 10 years ago, it started off as horse armor, and now we're locking weapons behind either a grind/paywall. So I feel like this is a choice on you. None of my friends are concerned by this. I am concerned by this. So that's the slippery slope. I feel like I have to point it out. The armor, now, all the armor is locked behind the paywall with these passives here. So there you go. This passive here increases throwing range and health limb, right? But saying this, I have not seen a passive for an armor piece that is purely on a paid track. And I've gone through all the paid armors. All the armor I have seen, there is a free version of it with the same passive. So that's fine. I still wish it was just cosmetic, because again, it's a slippery slope, but that's fine. I think that is actually okay. So this here, it is in the shop. It's 250 credits. It's the more grenades and recoil, but in the free warband, there is the exact same armor for free, or exact same passive for free. So that's the store. That's everything there. It's an interesting way of progression. It's go out and use a resource you get from the missions to then progress through the game. So that is an interesting way of doing it. Over here, we will now focus more on sort of the actual gameplay loop of the game. Over here, we have the Galactic War Map. So you can see we got the Terramids over here, Terramids. I think I'm saying that completely wrong. And then the Automatons. Again, sorry, my reading is awful. So over here, we have a couple of planets that we're fighting for control over. This is purely cosmetic. You see there's 1,500 players here. You see there's 1,500 players over here. And we're trying to liberate that. If you lose a mission, you will lose percentage points towards liberating the planet. If you win, you gain percentage points over here. So you see this is an ice planet with 2 ice modifiers. It's got extreme cold, ice temperatures, reduced rate of fire, but deal heat. The delayed heat buildup in weapons, that laser weapon I said do not buy, that's actually better in the extreme cold than a normal weapon. But there's also potentially there is a snowstorms that reduce visibility. So we're nearly finished Hot. We're nearly finished Heath. Nearly finished Heath. It's not Hoth, it's Heath. Then there's another planet here, which is a completely different biome. I have not played any other. I have played this game for nearly 20 hours. I have not left Heath. We are just slamming Heath and trying to get to 100%. Because if we complete Heath and if we get Angel's Venture within the next 4 days and 18 hours, everyone receives 10,000 credits, which honestly is not enough. I think that needs to be increased. That's a large reward, and that's a very small reward for actually quite a lot of effort. So 10,000 credits will buy you a stratagem. That's 6,000, that's 7,000, 7,000, 4,000. This is sort of the price ranges we're talking here. 6,000, 7,000. So you could definitely buy one. I think you could probably buy one of the bigger ones. I think this was 10,000. Rocket Sentry was 10,000, I think. But these are sort of prices we're talking about. I've got 8,000. Honestly, 10,000 is pocket change. A couple of missions, you can be at 6k. Not a problem. If we go over to the war map here and pick Heath, you can see missions, or operations, I should say, inside Heath. So you can see there's some players here that have asked for some help. You can see operations here. And operations are made up of more than one mission. So if we go down to Trivial, which is the first difficulty level, there's only one mission here. Complete it, gain a bonus to liberation. Small bonus to liberation. But if you go up to Suicide, which we completed a Suicide last night, you can see there's 3 objectives. And to complete this operation, you have to complete every single mission inside the area. If you lose a mission, the operation is a failure. The other thing here is you can see the number of medals you will receive for beating each mission. So the first one you get 6, the second one you get 8, and the third one you get 10. There's quite a lot of medals you can grind up quite quickly from completing a whole mission. And then if we go back down to Trivial here, you only get 1 for completing 1, and Medium you get 2, and then 4, so 6 in total for completing a couple missions. And then if you increase the difficulty again, the actual missions themselves have more objectives. So this has 3 loads of terminal eggs. This ICBM, which is really cool when you launch it, by the way, you have to do 2 things to then go and launch the ICBM. Where on easier difficulties, you might only have to do 1 thing and then go launch the ICBM. So the actual difficulty of the game is not just in the difficulty of the enemies or how hard an enemy is to kill. It is inside the objectives as well as the types of enemies you're fighting and what those enemies can do. Before we get into a mission, let's have a look at the options menu. It's pretty good. You have public or friends only, cross-play on or off. You have remember aim mode, all this sort of stuff, switching weapons. There's some nice level of customizability. You have camera shake, high dynamic range. You can see you can do resolutions. You can super sample. You can even downgrade it. I would have liked a percentage here. Performance, ultra performance, balanced, quality, native. I'm not a fan of this. I would have liked a percentage scale. That's what I would. Because what pixel density is balanced? What is balanced? I have no clue. It's not DLSS. I just have no idea. So stick it to native and then change the resolution. Performance of the game's fine. It's nothing outstanding. There's quite a lot of stuff on screen. There's quite a lot of particle effects and that kind of thing. And I'm my FPS has been stable around 60, 70. I am running, as you can see, a 2080 Ti. It's kind of an old graphics card now. Mine is definitely long in the tooth, but it runs the game quite well. Here we've gone for 0 motion blur, 0 depth of field, 0 bloom, sharpness up to 1. And then textures high. I love my textures. Render distance at ultra. I want to be able to see what's coming at me. And then everything else sort of on low or off. And the game still looks really, really good, honestly. I'm a big AA fan. I love my AA. I would like to know what type of AA this game is using. I think the only thing this graphics menu is really missing is I would like more in-depth information on things. What type of ambient occlusion are you using? What type of AA are you using? That kind of stuff. But generally, it's quite good. I'm quite happy with it. I would have also liked a DLSS option or even an FSR option, but we don't have that here, which is a shame. Loads of audio sliders, really good. Audio devices, which is nice to see. To say being able to disable voice chat. Midnight mode. What's this? Reduces the dynamic range of in-game audio. Okay, that's fair. Lots of HUD customizability. Really, really, really nice here with your HUD customizability. Good accessibility options. Texture in the UK and US variants. Speech language for audio, like on-screen audio. It's good. It's spoken by character. Subtitles, good. Reticle colors for if you're colorblind like myself. That's really nice. Reticle outline is good as well. Text to speech is what I was on about earlier. Which is really nice. Chat only or off. The really good thing is when you load the game up, this is on by default. And it literally says in front of your face when you first load up the game, do you want it on? And you can say yes or no straight away. That's really good because it saves people who have to have this to play the game. It saves them from having to go through and dig through menus and fumble around trying to find it, or asking a friend or a family member to do it for them. Like, that's a really good that it's on by default. Controller options, a myriad of controller options. I don't use a controller. As it's a shooter, I like my keyboard and mouse. So that's really, really good. You see my sensitivity's down by 0.07, so it's a really good scaling slider. We got mouth acceleration off. Mouth's moving on. No. Ugh. What am I doing? We got sensitivity, scope, map sensitivity, and stuff like that. We go on to map sensitivity in a minute. Their map system is really, really cool. Yeah, so that's that. Key bindings, all rechangeable, and I have to praise them on this here. We'll get on to stratagems because the way they launch stratagems is really cool. I love it. Everything's done as like a key code, which is nice. And then you can choose how this is the input method, and there's quite a few different options. I feel like more games need to have this. It's really, really good system. An account for if you want to link it to your PlayStation account, which I still need to do. So yeah, socials there, game on level 15. So yeah, generally really good, really, really good. The one thing I will say is the menu when you launch into a mission is clunky, and the game itself does have quite a few bugs. It is quite buggy. I've had quite a few crashes. So if you do not want that, definitely definitely sort of stay away from it at the moment. Keep your eye open. They are fixing on it, they're working on it, they're doing a lot about stability of the game and servers and stuff like that. But again, since launch, like 48 hours ago, I've put in like 20 hours. The game, I haven't had too many issues. I have had a few crashes and stuff, but easily rectified if I'm honest. Yeah, so, right, we have gone and picked a mission. It's disappeared, okay. So this is, we're having an issue right now. We're having a bit of a bug. Don't know why I did that. Here you go, I've got a mission to extract over this massive repository of E710. They have ceased functions. This must be reactivated. So we're going to put on easy just so I can talk and play. And I can show you the game more than having to suffer. I'm going to jump into our hell, but the aesthetic of the game is just pure Starship Troopers. It's really, really good. So we've got an extraction zone here. We've got our objective here. We're saying enemy pressure. Enemy pressure over here is pretty good. What's in this corner? We'll drop in this corner here. So we're picking, we're going, and then we have this equipment, this loadout menu. What I'll say is this is a bit buggy. I've had a few issues with this. Equipment, we can pick our cosmetic helmet, or we can pick our actual armor we would like to use, or our cape. So that's nice. We can change this all here. We can pick our guns. We've got the laser rifle, the shotguns, SMGs, marksman rifles, assault rifles. We'll stick with this shotgun. I really like this shotgun. We'll stick with the auto pistol. We'll stick with this grenade. And then For our stratagems, we have mission-based stratagems, which is your revives, your SOS, and your resupply. I talked about ammo economy earlier on. We'll talk about that in a minute. But that resupply is a must. Let's go for a 110. I really like the 110. I really like the airstrike. We'll grab... Ooh, I'm on my own, so I'm actually thinking about grabbing the yeah, we'll grab the anti-tank rocket launcher, and I'll tell you actually, no, it won't. Let's get rid of. So this is the issue I have with this menu, right? So I can't. If I've picked in this, right, I have to then come out of it, click it, and go in and change it. But let's say, oh wait a minute, I didn't mean to pick the Gatling gun. I've got to go back in, and then I've got to say, right, let's go machine gun. Right, but if I'm actually in this thing, if I'm like, actually, I'd rather not have the 110s. I can't just click the 110s and then change it out for something else or deselect it here. I have to go out of the menu, click it, go back in the menu. Go out of the menu, click it, go in the menu. So it is a bit clunky like that. I'm not a fan. I've had a few freezes where it's picked the wrong thing. There we go. Okay. Oh, see, I've clicked too many things now and it's had a freak out. Alright, so we've got a boost. We've got... These are not paid, by the way. You unlock these in the battle pass or the war bond, and then you get them. You just get them. There's not limited or anything like that. And then you pick your boost and you're fine. We're going to do with the restock of ammunition, because I do like that one. And then we're going to go for the machine gun, the rocket sentry, and some big boom sticks. Do I want this? Right, okay, it's fine. We're gonna ready up, and then we go straight into a mission. And a really cool aspect is when you see you and all your friends drop pod onto the planet. It's so cool. Some helpful training tips there. Some are hilarious, some are actually useful. There we go. Now, when the drop pod's coming in like that, it is actually controllable. So, one thing is the sound in this game is really good. Like, I can instantly hear things across behind this wall already. You've got your FPS mode, or your ADS mode here with middle mouse click for me. Right, and if we hold down R, you can customize your weapons a little bit. So I'm going to turn the torch on auto, and I'm going to keep the actual gun itself on fully automatic as well. So we can vault up here. See a nest over there. Now, the map. If you press tab on keyboard and mouse, the map comes up. And you can't aim anymore. But what you can do is hold right click and look around and see what's going on. And it's a really cool system for doing stuff on the fly. Because I can still run around, so I can run towards an objective while picking a new one. So let's put a pin there, and you can see it's now along the top bar as well. So that's nice. On the right-hand side, we have our difficulty level, how many nests we got, the time left, and then the resources that are on the map. The more difficult the difficulty of the mission you're doing, the more different types of resources and the rarer resources are available to you. Our currency are an XP, and our mission as well. So zoom out, zoom in, and press tab again to get rid of that. So that's good. On the left hand side, we have how many revives we've got. We've got our stratagems. If we hold shift, we have our stratagem menu, and at which point you can enter the code using whatever keybinds you have used. I'm not sure what they are on controller, but you can enter a code. So for instance, I want my machine gun down, left, down, up, right, and then we get our little grenade and we can throw it. And at that point we're going to have a little drop pod come in with our equipment, and if we picked like an eagle airstrike, that would be an airstrike would come in on wherever you threw the grenade. All right, we're going to pick our big machine gun up here. Now, This shotgun has 5 ammunition right now, so it has 5 magazines or clips. Not sure what the right terminology is. I have 6 grenades. I have 4 pistol mags and 1 full mag and 1 more magazine of machine gun ammunition. That is not a lot. So you see on the top left we have our resupply. We are going to be needing to use that a lot, but it has a cooldown, so you have to be strategic with it. So there are these sort of things to think about. One thing I want to do straight off the bat is we're just going to... Ooh, I failed it. We're just going to throw an airstrike over here. Make sure that actually... That was alright. Oh! Buggies. There we go. Got 5 kills from that. Right. Bug breach detected. That means the bugs have breached the ground and they're going to be spawning from the ground. You can't stop this unless you kill a bug before it does it. You can see these are all quite low level bugs. They're quite easy to kill. Switch over to my shotgun here. And the bug breach is gone. We killed everything out of the bug breach and it disappeared. Later on, they get very intensive. Over here, when we go press our shift key, we're going to go into an infestation area. You can see here, there's some nests. So what we're going to do is throw grenades down here. Kills that. And as we clear out a nest, we get some credits and we get some XP. Over here, I see that this is the environmental damage here. I have managed to walk into a plant, and over here we can get some common samples to upgrade our ship. And this is the progression of the game. Go in, have a look around, see what's on the map. So we got some stuff over here.
Tagging map, southwest.
Have a look at your environment as well. Like there's stuff over here. So we can have a look over here and see what this is. And you'll be able to see and get used to the visuals of the game, where you will be able to understand what's where and where super credits are, where medals are, and that kind of stuff to start farming out levels. So over here we have some more common supplies and some ammunition. Oh, there's a bigger guy here. Now, this is where the viscera of the combat really comes into play. Oh, I ran into him. Now, there's no reloading of mags. We're going to stem up. We're going to... reload! This is what happens when I'm not used to talking and shooting. Right. Let's stem up. And even on a lower difficulty, you can see where if you just don't concentrate, things can get hairy real quick. There's no automatic reloading, and if you reload early, you lose all the weapon in your magazine. So you've got to be careful with that. You can see our ammunition's now getting low, so we're going to pull in a resupply here. And yeah, this is the game. This is what you do. You and your friends have a good time killing and murdering millions of bugs or other enemies, because it's not just bugs. And completing the missions, getting rewards for your missions, exploring, and then leveling up your gear. So over here, there should be somewhere for this mission a terminal. So we're going to find the terminal and then proceed with the mission. Right, what we're going to do up here is we're going to put our rocket sentry down just in case.
Sending down sentry.
And then normally the terminals require some teamwork or a mini game or something like that. So here you go, it's a little mini game. There are different types. There we go. And here we go. Right, so we've got to do this pipe mini game. So local storage or transfer. There we go. There's the transfer done. A1's block, A2's block, B1's block. Okay. A2's over here. And if you're in a 4-man, you'll all be doing this together and communicating and stuff like that. So we can click this, rotate, open this up. And I can hear bugs around as well. And on harder difficulties, they become a lot harder. Bugs harass you a lot more. So we're just going to go around and finish this. But yeah, the actual, like, viscera of the combat feels great. Like, this rocket turret coming in and smashing stuff up is it's just really cool. Throw a grenade over there. We've got a bug breach coming in. Q is to ping, so let your allies know. If that turret hits me, I am just dead, so I've got to be careful with where I'm putting it. Now, where are we going? We need one more. We did this one down here. This was A1. There's one down here as well, I believe. Yeah, here we go. And now we can go back up to the terminal. And see this little eyes here, there's pieces of lore throughout the game. Because there is a story and there is lore. Oh, and then we got some ammo. And now we can activate this. And it's done. So one of the things as well is the games have active developers that are GMing the game. And in real time can assist or hinder your missions. As well as the galactic map in total. Like if the community make a big push for a specific point or a specific planet, the actual aliens itself may counter that push and go for a different push or try and disrupt it in some way or some manner and stuff like this. So that is a really interesting part where this game isn't just here's the game, play it for a little bit, and then have an update every month or every few months or whatever it's going to be. Oh, we got here, got to reload our magazine. So this guy's got armor. Right, I got to switch over to this. Shoot him on the underbelly because that's not his armor. Right, here we go. And then we can go and grab the last nest here. There we go. We got ourselves a light bug nest. Whee! The physics as well in this game are just absolutely hilarious. You flying around, with allies flying around. It leads to some really hilarious moments. So over here, there's a light over here. So these are minor points of interest we can go take a look at. Actually, we are literally on top of one right here. And this has a potential, so we're going to blow this door open. This has a potential of having super credits and other credits inside of it, as well as, there you go, we've got a common supply. Oh, there you go, medals. We got medals. So these medals are going to progress the battle pass. So it's interesting how the battle pass, more medals. So that was 5 medals. That was quite a lot. So I've got 5 medals to progress my battle pass now. So it's not done via XP or anything like that. It's done via these medals that are actually an in-game resource that you can stockpile. There we go. Let's have a look. There's some of the FPS. The ADS mode on this. Be able to shred some of that armor.
Say hello to democracy.
You see how effective these heavy weapons can be as well.
Last reload.
Quickly give it a reload, but then they do punish you for reloading. Or make you vulnerable, I should say, really. Not really punishing. Let's go over to this minor point of interest over here and see what's over there. But yeah, the fact there's GMs in the game really monitoring where the game is going and what the players are doing and then countering that with different buffs, debuffs, and stuff like that is really, really good to hear. Because it really leads to this like active to and fro with the players and the developers. There we go. Over here, we got to do ourselves a little salute. There we go. And in here is another weapon. So this could potentially have super credits in it with paid currency. Could potentially have medals in it. Could potentially just have credits in it. But in this case, we got ourselves another heavy weapon. What's my ammunition? My ammunition's absolutely fine. I've picked up some ammo packs as we go. It's just another type of LMG here. Slightly more mobile, slightly more ammunition, but slightly less powerful. Are we even going in the right direction? Here we are. Right, let's mark it on the map. And we can see on the top there. Now I've pinged it. We can see that it's there. Right, what's this? Get rid of this little guy. Yeah, and playing this with friends, and honestly just playing on your own and being able to progress through, doing a lower difficulty chill run like this, or going to the higher difficulties where the monsters or the bugs get massive, and it really becomes a coordinated effort to take out some of the bigger bugs, it's just astonishing. And the difficulty level is not just in how hard an enemy is to kill, but also the tool set the enemy is given. The enemy's tool set evolves. Oh, there we go. Evolves dependent on the difficulty that you have. So right now we're not running into anything major, but in later difficulties you're going to run into acid bugs, and then in further on difficulties from that, the acid bugs don't just use acid. They have some artillery weaponry as well, tools in their kit. So the fact that the bugs toolkits evolve dependent on the difficulty you're actually playing on is really interesting, because as you're playing through the game and exploring the difficulty and getting to know the game, it's not just what new bugs. It's like, what am I going to be facing today? What am I going to this bug we've been fighting for the last few hours going to have a new tool set? Is it going to have more armor? Sort of, and it gives you keeps you questioning and keeps that full feel of exploration alive when you keep playing this. Look at me, I'm absolutely covered in blood and gore. It's brilliant. My mother would be so ashamed of me. Throw a grenade over there. Just make them feel some dirt. Oh, we got some little ones on the right here. This LMG's quite good. I quite like this. Yeah, see, and then on the later difficulties, you really need to be looking at the kit you're bringing in compared to your friends and your allies to see if you're synergizing correctly. If everyone's going to bring in machine guns, then honestly, you're probably going to get mullered, because you're going to need some anti-armor, and you haven't brought any in. So, of course, you might also just be better than me. Here we go. Now, you got to be careful this guy, because he does crush it. There's my ship up there as well. So if I called in an orbital airstrike, you would see it come in from that. There comes the Pelican. He's clearing out some bugs for me as well. You got to see it. Yeah, there you go. He's got his little cannon firing away. Now, you got to get out of the way here, because he will crush you. Rockets covering my escape. And there we go. Mission done. And actually, with the number of medals we got here, that's the most medals I've seen in any one given spot. Which was, I think it was 5 medals just on that one spot. And that is a really interesting way of doing some of the other currencies in the game with the battle pass and the premium currencies as well. So here we got our main objective done. We didn't do any of the optional objectives. All the Helldivers extracted, so we get some bonuses from that. And I destroyed 2 of the, I think it was 4 outposts. So and then some extra money for mission time as well. So you get rewarded for the faster you go kind of thing. So it's that toss-up between speed and being able to explore. And then I got 2 more medals on top of that. There we go. 5 samples, 2 medals, plus the ones I also found in-game. A little bit of XP, a little bit of currency. There you go. Nice. And then I've got my impact, like 0.01% of anything. And the higher difficulties you do, the more impact you have on the liberation of a planet. And we have this little screen here with all your friends. If anyone dies during or isn't able to extract during the mission, and you run out of revives because you have specific numbers of stratagems revives you can get. If you run out, one refreshes every like minute and a half or so, and then after that minute and a half, you are at 0, and you've got to wait another minute and a half. So that's what happens when you run out. When the mission timer reaches 0, the mission doesn't fail. You just can't call in any stratagems. So it becomes exceptionally harder. There we go. There's our little stat screen, so you can see everyone's. If you have more than 1 players, you can see how many times your allies or you accidentally kill everyone, which is normally me. Yeah, and then we're straight back onto the ship. Okay, so if we go to our expeditions, we now got 8 of our medals, and we can go and spend them on any of the pages we have already unlocked. Or we could even, if we had the premium battle pass, we could go in here and use our 8. We just got a bunch of medals. We can use them to get another load of super currency. So yeah, so that more or less is Helldivers, and I'm absolutely loving it. Like I said, a little bit buggy, some stuff they're still working out, some crashes on PC here and there, some server downtime. I haven't experienced nearly any of that. See, look at all these ships, but there is a few. So yeah, that is Helldivers. Thanks for joining today. If you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe button, and make sure that you check out some of our other videos and reviews and previews of games. We just did one on Power World, which has its own issues, but it's a pretty good game. And then yeah, please share to your friends. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.